I'm the Sports Wiz 101, and today I'll be giving you my predictions for week number 12 of the NFL season. So we'll be set to predict all these games set to take place in week number 12. And as for teams on a bye, that is nobody. That's right, every team in the NFL gets to play this week. All 16 teams, or all 32 teams, I should say, are in action. That includes 16 games. So let's get started here as we're looking to continue to build off of a good week last week where we went 10-4. Let's get things going in the AFC where we got a rematch of last year's AFC divisional round. It's the Bengals and the Titans going at it down in Nashville. Tennessee looking for a measure of revenge after the Bengals knocked them out on their own home turf. The Titans were the 1 seed, and thanks to Ryan Tannehill and his interceptions, the Titans got knocked out by the eventual AFC champion Bengals. And they did a fairly good job of taking away that Bengals pass rush. But slowing down the Bengals offense is what I should probably say. They did a really good job of slowing down the Bengals offense in that particular game. But here I think Tennessee's offense is just too weak in this game. Even with the Bengals missing Ja'Marr Chase, I just don't see the Titans putting up enough offense to win this game. I'm going to take the Bengals. Next up, it's the Texans and the Dolphins. Miami is coming off a bye. They're at home, taking on one of the worst teams in football. This is my lock of the week. I'm taking Miami. Now comes Baltimore. They are taking on a Jaguars team also coming off of a bye. Baltimore was my lock of the week. A little tense there for a few moments, but they eventually got the job done. Here, I think they get the win here as well, but I think this is also going to be one of those games where Jacksonville keeps it close, but they come up just a little bit short of a marquee victory over a good team. Here, I like Baltimore. Skipping the primetime games, it also means skipping the Thanksgiving games for now. Let's head on to Chicago, taking on the Jets in the Meadowlands. Bears quarterback Justin Fields has gone down with an injury. Couple that with a Jets offense that prefers to run the football, taking on a defense that struggles at defending the run. And I think this is a surefire win for the New York Jets, even with Mike White as their starting quarterback. Next up, the Broncos head down to Carolina to take on the Panthers. And this is my upset of the week. I'm taking the Panthers here just because I have this gut feeling that Nathaniel Hackett, who has been known for making bewildering game management decisions that eventually cost his team, I got a feeling he's got another one coming up on Sunday against the Panthers. I like Carolina right there. Moving on, the Buccaneers, fresh off their win in Germany and fresh off of their bye following that win, head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. And here, I'm going to take Tampa Bay, especially if their defense plays more like they did in that game against Cleveland, and especially if they're back to the Buccaneer defense of old, where it was near impossible to run on them. I don't see Chubb doing much of anything. I like Tampa Bay in this one. Moving on, Raiders traveling to Seattle. Seahawks coming off a bye after losing that aforementioned Germany game. And here, I just can't pick against Seattle. It just feels like the right pick, especially seeing as they're coming off a bye. They're at home. That's one of the biggest home field advantages in the league. The Seahawks' Lumen Field is a great home field advantage. Plus, it just feels like the Raiders just going to come short here. Chargers and Cardinals. Give me the Chargers. I like them to have a bit of a bounce back here is they're going to start to get desperate to find ways into the playoffs. They're currently out of it as a 5-5 team. And here, I just like them to go out there and be a Cardinals team that historically has struggled towards the end of the year. Give me the Chargers there. Next up, the Rams taking on my Kansas City Chiefs. This looked like a much juicier matchup back in the preseason, but now it wouldn't surprise anyone if the Chiefs win this one in blowout fashion, and that's somewhat what I expect. I'm taking the Chiefs here. I do think the Rams may keep it surprisingly close, but this still feels like an easy Chiefs victory. Moving on, let's look at the Falcons and the Commanders. And here, I'll take Washington. It just feels like they're going to continue with their winning ways, especially with Taylor Heinicke at quarterback. He'll be there until he messes up or until the end of the season, whichever happens first. And I, as well as any Commander fans, certainly hope that the end of the season happens first, especially with how well this Commanders team has done with him at quarterback. After this game, him and Wentz will have quarterbacked the same amount of games. And Heinicke has gone 4-1. Wentz has gone 2-4. I think Heinicke will be 5-1 after Sunday, after picking apart a lame Falcons defense. Saints taking on the 49ers over at Levi's Field. Look, I think this could very well be a defensive battle, but it's a battle the 49ers should come out on top in. I like San Francisco there. Now looking at the primetime games / Thanksgiving games, let's look at Monday Night Football. It's the Steelers and the Colts. The Colts have been an interesting story, especially after they fired Frank Reich, hired Jeff Saturday to be their head coach. And they were laughed by most of the league, but then they beat the Raiders, and then they give the Eagles all they could handle. And here, I think Saturday's going to pick up another win with the Colts as their head coach. I think the Colts now are much better than they were with Frank Reich. I think the Steelers are still a good game. I think it's still close, still competitive. But it feels like Saturday's a much better coach than Reich with how the Colts have been playing. Next up, the Bills and the Lions. This just feels like a game Buffalo should win, and I think they will win. Wouldn't be surprised if the Lions keep it close, especially with how high-flying their offense can be, or how high-scoring, I should say, their offense could be, I should say. But nonetheless, this is a game Buffalo should run away with. The nightcap for Thanksgiving is the Patriots and the Vikings. I think this will be a great game. And I think it'll come down to the wire. And I think Minnesota's coaching staff will come up with enough coaching adjustments for them to get the win at home over the Patriots. And the other Thanksgiving game is the Giants against the Cowboys. Here I just think Dallas is a bad matchup for the Giants, especially with how well they run the ball. Give me the Cowboys to win on Thanksgiving. And then finally, Sunday Night Football pits the Green Bay Packers against the Philadelphia Eagles. It seems to me like the Eagles have tended to struggle against those teams that can control the clock. And to control the clock, that usually means you can run the ball down the other team's throat at will. And to me, I don't think Green Bay has either the volume or really the ability to do that kind of stuff. So I think they lose to the Eagles on Sunday Night Football. So there you go. There are my picks for week number 12 of the NFL season. If you like this, please like and subscribe for more to come in the following weeks. I've been the Sports Wiz 101, and I will see you all later.